Hi guys, today's video is gonna be about proposals. So my great-grandmom's wedding set by a gaudy diamond monstrosity of a ring. I had asked him to use the engagement ring to propose with, as I would have been the fourth generation to wear it. He said it was ugly and awful and wouldn't have his woman wearing secondhand garbage. I dumped his ass and got the set back from the pawn shop. Just realized this was the second time I dumped a guy based on this kind of behavior. I sure can pick him. Yo, he sold your great-grandmother's wedding set? I don't get it. Could just buy like a new one, but let you keep it. Plus, okay, makes me wonder, if two guys did that, maybe it is really an awful wedding ring. Just a thought. He bought me a ring as a Christmas present. The proposal came the day after with him saying, by the way, that's an engagement ring. He tried the same thing again the year after. Told him both times that if he couldn't even ask me whether I want to actually marry him or not, I didn't want the ring. Oh my god, okay, that is not even a proposal. That's when you're given the terms and conditions after you accept the deal. Awful. Now you gotta give it to him. He tried to do that not once, but twice. Good for you. He thought asking me to marry him and tattooing private property of ours will be a good way to make me forget serial cheating. You should have let him go through with the tattoo and then dumped him. That would have taught him a lesson. I wouldn't stick around for serial cheating. One time you're gone. Me and my girlfriend have been living together for a couple of years. I asked her if she wanted an engagement ring or a dishwasher for her birthday. She chose the dishwasher. In her defense, she thought I was joking. I had been very clear from the start that I didn't believe in marriage. It was an awesome dishwasher though. We are still together as well 12 years later and still not married. How is the dishwasher doing? I wonder if he's still holding on or holding up. And next, I told him things were going downhill and I wanted to end things. So he decided to propose to me. Thank God not in public, as an attempt to get me to stay. I said no. Bro, I hate that. He tried to make things better by proposing? No. A girl I was casually dating, not even in a relationship with, proposed in front of her toddler niece and nephews and a large crowd of people at the aquarium. Even asked her nephew, do you want OP to be auntie of it? With their ringing hand. I said yes in public and then no privately. Never saw her again after that one. What? Wow. I have no words. Never propose in public unless you're certain the answer is gonna be yes. You did that to yourself, sister. He was proposing to show how he was fully committed and dedicated to me and only me after he was caught cheating, showing you how dedicated and committed he was to you. No. He brought me up to his apartment about a 2-hour drive from my college. I was basically trapped there. He asked me why he was feeling insecure about the relationship and figured a proposal would lock me in place. I dodged it for a few days, but I needed to get back to classes and he wouldn't take me back till I said yes. I figured he was a bright guy and would come to his senses eventually. He got me back to school. Eventually he realized that coercion is not a good proposal strategy. You think? I have a feeling that's illegal also. And you really got me like, I had to get back to school. Oh God. A few years back, I was dating this guy. At first, he seemed very kind, sweet, and happy. Handsome too. I thought he was a great catch, especially as some toxic friends of mine were lowering my self-esteem. A few months after we started dating, he started changing. He was subtle at first. He would stop spending time with me and blaming me for it. Then came the gaslighting and manipulation. He started isolating me from my family and hurting me when I refused to do things for him. Eventually, I got the strength to deal with the situation and tell him that we were over. To get me to stay, he hosted a large party with lots of friends and publicly asked me to marry him. I said no. Wow. Public rejection. That should have taught him a lesson. I was literally breaking up with him because he was abusive, manipulative, and our life goals did not match up. I wanted to get married and maybe have children, and he didn't. I had packed up most of my things while he was at work, and when he got home, he had the long-awaited conversation and he pulls out a Taco Bell hot sauce pack that said, marry me on it. When I told him absolutely not, he then grabs the keys to his shotgun cable lock along with the ammo and hands them to me and says, take this, because I can be trusted with it. Like he was going to kill himself. This was about 5 or 6 months after my dad had committed suicide. Wow. I don't know what is worse, Taco Bell sauce proposal or the threat of killing himself. I'm glad he said no. I loved him. If he had asked me to get married 3 days before, I would have said yes. yes. But I received a message 2 days before the proposal from someone telling me that he was part of a gang with proof and everything. Girl, we need more information, like right now. Was 18 and had just graduated high school when the guy I dated on and off since sophomore year texted me that he wanted to marry me. Assumed it was just a flirt thing people do, but he wasn't joking and called me, telling me if you got married, you could get money for college from the state and go ahead and have kids that same year so we could have our parents' insurance. It blew my mind because he was so serious about it. He said, let's go pick out a ring and have dinner. I asked, why would he ask to marry me without a ring? He said because he wasn't wasting his time trying to find something when I could do it for myself. Oh, and we needed to go half and half on my ring. I turned him down, obviously, and we argued for a week straight, then broke up for good. Met my soon-to-be husband 2 months later. The ex ended up dating my friend's little sister who was in high school and did the same thing to her. He really had a plan and he followed through. Good for him. My ex was an abusive narcissist. I was 21, he was 54 and divorced. I had been gaslit and pushed into the relationship but didn't realize that until later. He demanded keys to my apartment and passwords but refused to give me his and a whole list of crap like this. Now, I wouldn't put up with it, but at the time I did. He proposed at 11 months, but by then he was verbally, emotionally abusive and had come close to hitting me. My sperm donor father was very abusive alcoholic, so I only have memories of his BS, and I knew I didn't want to repeat the abuse cycle. My mom, grandma, and aunt have all had abusive husbands, and I didn't want it to continue with me. Once ex-boyfriend became abusive, and I warned him to knock that shit off or I would leave. He proposed after calling me a stupid bitch. I followed through. I changed the locks in my apartments and my passwords. He actually called me after I changed my password screaming about it. I broke up with him. Why the hell is he trying to get into my stuff? You had me at him asking for your password. No words for you. Good that he said no. After a few weeks of me refusing to go back to him, he contacted my boss and accused me of stealing and contacted the fire department I volunteer with and accused me of endangering my team to showboat and get attention. Thankfully, both believed me over him and he was blacklisted. He tried to show up several more times at events and he was always immediately escorted off property. I'm still glad I got rid of that asshole. I'm sure you are. I would too if I were you. I had a boyfriend cheat on me so many times. The breakup was hard, but then he got activated from the military reserves. I didn't meet anyone till 2 months before he came back. The whole time I wanted him back, but he and I weren't really official together, and I knew he was talking to another girl the whole time he was gone. He came back and saw the other girls first. He says to break up with her. Yeah, right. And I realized I didn't like him. Thank God. He showed up in my apartment, saw me with my new boyfriend, and proposed in a crying fit. It was horrific. 3 months earlier, I would have done it, but thank God for the timing, I think. He proposed in front of your new boyfriend in a crying fit? My then boyfriend wanted to marry me because of how much money I would eventually make upon getting used to my field. He then wanted to share a cell phone bill, rent an apartment, and be a stay-at-home dad, while trying to convince me to have sex with him without a condom, all while having anger issues and almost hitting me twice. This isn't even half of what went on. We dated for 3 months. I felt the relationship fast. Thought he was a good person initially before we dated, which is why I went out with him. Edit 1. I forgot to add this because I'm a bull bio. He wanted all the birthday gift he gave me back. Said he never had money for anything but would smoke almost 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Wow, another man with a vision. I think you're eventually gonna be making money, so let's just have a kid. Only dating very briefly. He proposed in a restaurant with a large ring and provided me a PDF copy of his tax return so I could see he would be a good provider. Everything he did told me he hadn't really ever listened to me or got to know me properly. I said yes in the restaurant to avoid causing embarrassment and call it off afterwards. He turned into obsessive stalker and I had to get an AV with it. Lesson of this video is no public proposals, guys. Alright, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked, press the button. Bye!